Good Friday morning, folks. NTV Chief Meteorologist Eddie Shear with you. 8:37 a.m. on Friday, August 21st, 2015. Hope you're having a great morning so far. It should turn out to be a pretty nice Saturday. Friday, getting ahead of myself. For most of us, Saturday should also be pretty nice. Getting a check of a couple of webcams for you. This is the airport cam in St. John's, and we can see that United flight at Gate 4 now, getting ready to leave. And United looks like it has switched over to that smaller plane. So if you are going to be making that trip, expect a bit less in the way of room on the aircraft. Overlooking downtown St. John's, we can see on George Street looking pretty nice this morning, but a little bit overcast. That should give way to some sunshine as we go into about noon or the early afternoon hours. Southern Shore, that's currently what it looks like down in Trepassey, foggy, drizzly, and that scene will be repeated today across much of Newfoundland's Southern Shore and southern coastline, I should say. As we look into Gander, a little overcast this morning, but not too bad. On the west coast, that's the Telegram camera overlooking downtown Corner Brook. Lovely shot, lovely spot, nice blue skies there, and that scene should be repeated for many areas of the west coast, central, and eventually eastern and northeastern Newfoundland as we go into this afternoon. Looking a bit drizzly up into Lancelot and southeast Labrador this morning, but in Churchill Falls we're looking pretty nice. Into Goose Bay also lots of blue sky right now. Satellite and radar imagery taking us back over the last 6 or 8 hours, showing that across the island it has been fairly quiet. Same thing across most of Labrador, especially north. I should say Trans-Labrador Highway points south. As we get north, we have seen a fair amount of rain overnight. In fact, it looks like Nain has seen 24 millimeters of rain in the last 24 hours. Excuse me. And the rain will continue across the northern area of Labrador today, while the southern half of Labrador and most of Newfoundland will remain fairly dry. So far as temperatures go this morning, off to a mild start for most of us. 16 degrees in St. John's, and these are as of about 8:30. 18 degrees into St. Anthony, 17 already in Churchill Falls. Nain just sitting at 6. And unfortunately, it looks like Nain is going to remain in onshore winds today, so temperatures there are going to top out around a balmy 7. My apologies there. Forecast for today will show the island breaking out in some sunshine by this afternoon after the morning cloud cover. At least that's how it should go. As we look up into Labrador, temperatures today will top out in the 20s and even upper 20s at that in some locations. Happy Valley Goose Bay possibly near 30 degrees today. Cartwright topping out at 24. And there's also going to be some afternoon showers and thunder showers working their way into western Labrador as the afternoon progresses. What I also want to show you is the RDPS, or Regional Deterministic Prediction System. Essentially, it's a computer model. And it's forecasting, like I was just showing you, temperatures in the 20 to 25 degree range across most of Newfoundland away from the southern coastline. You can see it right there. That's where temperatures will top out between about 15 and 20 with the patchy fog and drizzle. But notice this pocket here into southeast Labrador. That color corresponds to 30 to 35 degrees, so we could have some very warm readings coming out from the Cartwright area today. And the reason for that is southwesterly winds, and there is some higher terrain just kind of downwind of the Cartwright area. So what happens is, as the air comes down the hills, it compresses or warms and dries. So you'll get a little bit of a bump in temperature sometimes, and I think that's what the computer model is showing. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that and see if we can get some real warm readings into that part of Labrador. In fact, Environment Canada has special weather statements in place for Newfoundland, for the most part west of the Avalon, north of the south coast, and south of the northern peninsula for humidex readings today in the mid-30s. Same thing across a good chunk of southeast Labrador, so if you're going to be working outside, keep that in mind today. Shifting to the tropics now, Hurricane Danny. Wind speeds 85 miles per hour, so about 130, 140 kilometers per hour. That's just my quick conversion, probably not quite dead on, but winds are pretty strong in the hurricane right now, but it does put it as a Category 1 status, moving towards the west-northwest at 10 miles per hour, and you can see the forecast there takes it towards the Leeward Islands by Monday morning, and then into the Caribbean by early next week as a S, which basically means, I believe, tropical storm. Yeah, S means tropical storm, H is hurricane. So weakens it into a tropical storm over the coming days, and we'll see where it goes from there, but computer guidance kind of weakens the system as it works its way into the tropics. Another area of low pressure to pay attention to, well off the coast of the U.S., kind of out towards Bermuda. National Hurricane Center still this morning giving it a 20% chance of developing into something tropical. If it does, it looks like it will kind of drift towards the north as we go into the weekend and towards the early part of next week, and may bring some rain to parts of the Maritimes before it gets shunted out to sea as an area of high pressure builds into Newfoundland by the middle of next week. So as of now, if this does develop into a tropical low of some kind, tropical depression, tropical storm, it may not pose a threat to Newfoundland, but it could pose a threat to the Maritimes. So keep a close eye on that. Otherwise, going to be a pretty nice day, so get out there and enjoy it. And that's your weather before the weather. Going on 5 minutes now. Have a great day, and I'll see you tonight at 5:30 on First Edition, between 5:30 and 6, and between 6 and 7 on the award-winning NTV Evening News Hour. And as always, you can find me on social media at Eddie Shear Twitter and meteorologist Eddie Shear on Facebook.